Welcome back to more Lord of the Rings Online. Let's get straight into it with this instance. Not so long ago, this forest spread wide and healthy, unfettered by the assaults of orcs and Núrzum. Those that dwelt within were mighty and took root among one another. One of the greatest of the Huorns in all of Fangorn, Brunduran, once dwelt where the White Hand's camp now stands. I'm sure you think you know the ending of this story, little one, for there's no mistaking what you have seen on my side. However, the trees have spoken to me of darker things, and though hewn, Brunduran's story is far from over. Before we can return to Barbalos to speak of Brunduran's fate, you must first understand how the Horn met its end, and how the cowardice of the orcs has shaped this forest and beyond since that day. I have much to tell you of the coming of the White Hand and those that suffer them. Are you ready to hear my tale?
After conversing with the trees of Balewood, Mossbeard has learned horrifying truths of Núrzum's origins and the fate of the Elder Huorn, Brunduran.
Viler truths I have seldom known, Kippen. The others must know of these happenings soon. But you must understand as well if you are to continue to aid us. Where the orc camp now lies once stood Bold Huorn, one of the very greatest in the forest. My memories of those days are as clear as ever they have been, but they are tainted by the knowledge I have gained from the trees. Come, let me tell you of the Horn's fate. I have learned a great many things from the trees, Kippen. Many things were as I feared, and some were far worse yet. I have much to tell you in little time. So let us begin. Deep in these woods there once lived a great Huorn, called Brunduran. A more well-behaved Huorn than most, Leaflock's tending was never much needed, and its roots grew thick into the heart of the forest. Brunduran took root, unbothered by the affair of Ents and Mens, but the pursuit of orcs were not easily ignored. And so came the day that the orcs invaded, defiling the forest and preparing to siege the lands of men. Brunduran had long lain dormant, but that time had come to an end. We made it, boys. We're close enough to the forest edge now. We can make camp here. Once we cut one more tree down for the wizard. You make the first cut. We have to cart this back to Isengard soon, or Saruman will have my head. Get off! Get off! Ah! What? This is no tree. You lot, get in there and hack it down before I crush your skulls myself. Run back and tell the others to get over here. We'll be needing more. You don't have to tell me twice, on my way. He's killing all these orcs here. Oh, I wonder if I should be fighting. I can't. Invisible wall. What are you waiting for, fools? Attack! It's a lot of orcs. It's a hell of a tree, though. Quite a fierce battle. I'd be running if I was that guy. Oh, never mind. They got reinforcements. Try to throw a spear over there. Or a javelin, I should say. Impossible. How's it doing? Oh, it's about to die, actually. Yep, it's dead. Is it dead? The wizard won't like this. Many of our numbers still stand, but so many have fallen. And for what? How shall I tell him a tree devastated his forces? Who says you have to tell the wizard? Ah, you are a wise orc. I shall tell him my forces remain here with me. And you will return to Isengard with the tree. So I'm starting to think that Brundoran somehow has been crafted into Núrzum by the treachery of Sauron. That's what I'm beginning to think. I have told you but half of what there is to tell, for far grimmer tales remain. Let us leave this place and return to Barlas and the others. Come, let us leave this memory and return to the others. Are you ready, little one? I hope it takes me directly to Barlas. That would be great. It did. Oh, that's great. That's good. As I have told you, little one, there remains much to be told, but it must wait until we reunite with Barlas and the others. They knew so much of Brundoran and the Horn's End, but in the times between then and their awakening, they have missed many unsettling details. We must travel to them at once, for both you and the others must know the Horn's fate and the true wrath, unknowing or not, that has been levied upon the forest. Return to Stonecliff. That is gonna be to the north. Oh man, this place is just... It's not a place you want to be if you're Renaissance gaming. It's difficult to make my way across here. I'm getting lost. That's alright. I'll find my way. May take a few broken legs, but I'll get there. Very well, we're back. You have arrived at Stonecliff to find Barlas and the others waiting for your arrival. Good, so we're all here? A journey has been, Kippen. Barlas and the others have much to learn of the monster, as do you still. Allow me to gather my thoughts, for this trip has been even more eventful than most things in this Ent's lifetime. Barlas looks as if he wants to speak to you. You should see what he has to tell you, and I shall begin to take root here. You have returned with Mossbeard. I knew you would not disappoint us, little one. I am joyful to look upon him again, but in his eyes I see great distress. Mossbeard wishes to speak with all of us, does he? Well, let us hear the tale. And so, little one, Brundoran was taken by the orcs. Núrzum had wandered these woods some time before this happening, you see. He was then but a stone giant, and had not much interest in the destruction of any creature of nature. His curiosity of the men was his only real reason for venturing into Wildemore. But when he was grievously wounded and chased from the lands, the ants and I thought him gone from our forest. Such things never come to resolution simply with you creatures, do they? Yet one day Núrzum returned, and this time he was not alone. I have learned much of Núrzum from these trees, my friend. When you are ready, I shall tell you what I know.
The Ent Mossbeard wishes to tell you more of what he has learned from the trees of Balewood. Núrzum's might stems not from within, but from the vile stone upon his back, granted to him by a powerful benefactor.
The rest of my tale begins where Brundoran fell. Though since that tragic day, much time has passed, and many more trees had fallen to shape the walls of their disgraceful camp. It is clear now that Núrzum ally was no better than those he harbored within these walls, though far more mighty. When you're ready, little one, I will tell you what I know of Núrzum, and how he came to possess such a stone. At their crude camp, where remnants of Brundoran's roots still laid hewn in the earth, Núrzum stood among fearful orcs. His wrath had not yet visited the forest directly, but the stone he carried upon his back had already brought thick snowfall and lands around him. Núrzum stood waiting, not knowing when his friend would arrive, and lost in what he was to do with this newfound might. In the distance, the harsh weather seemed to split as a man strode forth through the snowfall. And as the snow swirled around him, the man's robe seemed to shimmer in a myriad of colors, and Núrzum knew at once his powerful ally had returned. But of course, long has it been, my large friend? It has. I have returned to the forest as you bid me, and I am prepared to stand against those that would oppose me. Tell me, Núrzum, have you come to appreciate this opportunity? The gifts I have bestowed upon you. Gifts? What gifts, wizard? Even my own kind would not look upon me now. You are not of your kind any longer, Núrzum. You knew this much when I came upon you in the forest, wounded and lost as you were. I have done naught but fulfill everything promised to you. I asked for the strength to survive my wounds, the ability to return to the cold of the misty mountains, and the chance to seek revenge against the men that harried me in my travels. Where then have I failed? All of those are within your grasp now. I gave you the strength through the roots that now wind about your stones. I granted you a snow-covered home no matter where your travels take you. And the men, they cannot stand against you any longer. Your words are convincing, wizard. Of that there is no doubt. You are something far greater than before, but you must remember, my friend, that you serve me. What would you ask of me before I make these lands my home? You will slay the leaders of this land to the last. Sinigar, Alston, the Knights Thrym, remember them well. As for the Reeve Garwig, leave his family in shambles. Slay Garnoth, Edsig, Garfirth, Cuthbald, and Garsig. Leave him in ruin, and let him never again pose a threat to you. That is all I ask of you, Núrzum. It shall be done, master. Let these puny men regret the day that they pushed me from their lands. As I had hoped, friend. Now journey through the forest and visit your frozen terror upon all that would stand against you. May all of Rohan freeze in your wake. So now we know, it looks like that Saruman did some experimenting with the stone giant Núrzum and the fallen Huorn, and then gave him some powers and all that. Now you understand, Kippen. Let us leave this memory. So now you see, Kippen. Núrzum returned to the forest, his wounds healed, his might bolstered and lashed together by what remained of Brundaron. All he was tasked with in return for such wonders were the deaths of men that had wronged him. How could he see the folly of his actions in the face of such a silver-tongued man? I know of this wizard, little one, for once Treebeard spoke of him, with Leaflock, in the days long past, always one to take knowledge, but never to share it in return. You look as though you have met him too. Such times are so long in the past that I doubt he even remembers us amid whatever other chaos he now wreaks. Surely, if the orcs did not tell him of Brundaron's assault, he would not have had thought much of using the tree in his foul experiments. His blindness to the forest may yet prove the monster's undoing, but we shall see yet. So, very good. Mossbeard has spoken true of many things over ages past, and as wild as his claims may be, I believe his tale. He He has spoken to us further of the things the trees came to know of Núrzum's arrival in the forest and what destruction he visited upon the creatures of this wood and my friend Duskleaf. Núrzum's assault began to the west, upon the hill where Brundoran fell, whom even the orcs were terrified of his presence, and not one sought to follow him too closely in his track through the woods to the forest edge. Already he had drowned the surrounding lands in snow by bringing the stone into the forest, and the creatures of the wood knew well that something horrible had come with the winter's chill. Listen well, little one, and I shall tell you how the forest rose and fell to Núrzum's might. Oh, so we're gonna do a session play quest as Núrzum. That'll be fun.
Núrzum has sown discord throughout Wildemore, but nowhere was the power of the stone felt greater than where his path of destruction began, deep in Balewood.
Okay, this is pretty awesome. This is pretty sick. Yes! I'm so glad they added this in here. Let me see what my attacks are. Stomp. I can stomp. I can do a chilling sweep. Nice. And I can do Power of Stone. To freeze the land around you. That's awesome, dude. I'm excited. Leave Drew Volcan and travel to the forest edge. So where is this? Okay, so at that little camp there. I am too tall. I can like barely see what's going on. You discover your path blocked by what appear to be angry trees. Clear them and continue your journey. Let me bring out the cold. Oh man, this is just way too much fun. Although my skills do have a long cooldown. That stomp is pretty fun. Stomp that tree. Nice. I am going to just round up everybody. Very good. Oh, wait, they're blocking my attacks. Nice. These horns have a lot of HP, I'll say that much. Alright, there you go. You hear the familiar creaking of your branches as more trees rise against you in the distance. Alright. Let me try to round everybody up. Why not? That way I can AoE everything down quickly. I don't know, there's a bunch of them. Nice. Let me kind of keep going a little bit. Let me grab a few more. There's still a bunch of them to fight through. And I want to make sure I'm using my AoEs effectively. My God, what a mess. Blast him with the ice. Nice. Crazy. They go flying backwards. That's pretty fun. Alright, good. And one more attack gotta kill him. Although he blocked it, so never mind. You have found your path blocked by a strange tree that looks as if it wishes to speak with you. That's Duskleaf. Let me bring this up a little bit. What purpose could you have for such destruction, giant? Whom? Do you even understand what agony you have brought upon the creatures here? How you tear trees from the ground, you freeze the horns where they take root, and even the foul wood trolls are not spared your ire. My friends either lay sleeping in this winter you have buried us in, or they lack the courage to stand against you. But I do not. I shall not allow you to go any further in these woods, monster. I see what the others do not. Those roots that wind about you. But you remain only stone. Alright, he's mad. Let me stomp him. And try to squash him down. That's crazy. Never thought I'd be fighting an imp from above here. You spite nature itself, monster. Looks like there are friends coming. Lots of enemies surrounding me here. Kill all these little trolls. Still trying to stomp Duskleaf over here. They both blocked that attack. That's unfortunate. Man, they keep parrying and blocking. Our branches will crush you to pebbles. Look, they're blocking everything. It's nuts. Just keep trying to crush him. I'm gonna focus on him and just let the AoE take care of everyone else. Very good. Only 40,000 left. 34,000 now. I feel the life leaving this forest. Such a chill, The destruction that followed Duskleaf's defeat is known well to the Ents and men alike. He tried. Good old Duskleaf. And that's that. Interesting. That was kind of fun. Is this a bug? That was interesting. It looks like it tried to put me back, but as Núrzum. Wouldn't that be awesome if I discovered a bug and I got permanently stuck as Núrzum? I could go to Breetown and just kill everybody. That would be hilarious. Okay, we are back. As a little hobbit and not as Núrzum. Ah, well. Learning of such things has brought a great sadness to me, Kippen. Núrzum's destruction did not end there, as you have long known. He rampaged throughout the forest floor, cutting a frozen scar through those helpless trees. Yet even when he left the forest, the wounds he dealt to our land would not be quick to mend. Duskleaf was always quick to act, but in the face of such an evil, he also proved himself the bravest of us Ents. We cannot allow his sacrifice to wither upon the frozen earth here. To not involve ourselves in such a dire matter, would be a disgrace to Duskleaf's memory, and the good of this forest. If the orcs yet linger in the woods, we must drive them out. Núrzum, Brundaron, as one. Can such things be? What twisted magics could have wrought such a monster? Such things defy nature. I am grateful that that abomination has strode from the forest. But if he returns, our numbers are few and our choices fewer. But what of the orcs? All of the havoc you have found, so much of it remains because of Núrzum's assault. His orc allies simply cannot match his destruction. The roadway. I wonder what has become of it, especially to the northwest, whence their kind first came. Search the roadway and follow it to its end. I am curious to see what remains of their force. For my part, I will travel to meet you outside the southern edge of their camp. I doubt they will notice me among the other trees nearby. Very good. So I think this is a good stopping point for this episode. Lots of backstory here, and I think we are working our way towards a climax for this season, and maybe a confrontation with Núrzum. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.